Greetings, everybody. This is Satan. Yeah, the supposed Lord of Darkness. Lord of Lies, yeah, me. I've been watching this guy's videos for a long time now. And I've come to one conclusion. We can have one heck of a drinking game. Every time this person decides to call atheists, pagans, Wiccans, Satanists, interchange them like they're all the same, you got to take a drink. And I guarantee you that every single one of you will be drunk before the damn video is over. Ugh. And there's those damn horns. Off tone completely. This guy doesn't like the Egyptians very well, does he?
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in,
Nope, just this idiot.
Just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been...
He talks about secret societies. How in the hell does he know about them if they were secret societies?
Controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
Cut. Look at me. I have never been that jacked up. He doesn't know what I look like. I do not take steroids. I don't need to be muscle bound. I am me. But the interesting thing with this is the simple fact that just watch what happens to this supposed me. He's opening up the ground. Yeah. And casting everything back to hell. Where do I reside at? In hell. So he sent me
This is
home.
a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As we continue to see Satanists get more and more rights in this world using the freedom of religion banner, where people actually buy into this and think that this is some type of pagan, atheist religion, where nothing, they don't.
Okay, gotta take your first drink. Pagan and atheists are not the same. What a frickin' moron.
Do anything, nothing that we hear about that, the spooky murders and sacrifice, all this stuff in the books that they follow, they don't do it. They're just good atheist people. As we continue to see them get more rights and Christians continue to get slammed, literally, you can't read a Bible in the military without getting, discharged. You can't have a scripture on your desk. All this stuff I've reported over the year, where you just see the censorship of Christianity. We see these Satanists continue to get more and more rights.
Right, this idiot is lying to you again. You are allowed to have Bible verses. You can have the Bible on the desk. You are allowed to do this. You are, however, forbidden to tell somebody else about your beliefs. Whatever you believe, nobody gives a shit. But once you try to push it onto others, that's when there's problems. Damn, this guy's an idiot.
The masses are so dumbed down. They think that these people are atheists. They think that these people aren't performing these types of rituals that we're all claiming. It's a witch hunt. Nothing's real. Nothing's true that we say. All you got to do is read the books that they follow. Of course, they go by the Satanic Bible. They try to use that and say, listen, look, in here it doesn't really talk to them. It's atheist kind of book, which is...
Take another drink. Here we go. Satanic Bible followed by atheists. This is ludicrous.
It's a cover for the books they really study, the mystery religion books, Crowley's teachings. It goes on and on. But now what we're seeing is in the state of Ohio, Satanists can now practice religion inside of prison. So here we have people who are in prison, who need to get their lives in order, who should be reading scripture in prison to rehabilitate themselves, to get themselves right with God, to get themselves out of the world while they're in prison and into scripture and finding God and becoming better people in this world. Now, these people who need it probably more than anyone in some cases, because some of the people who are in there are completely lost. But it doesn't mean that they can't be found. That doesn't mean that they can't find God. But now in Ohio, they're going to be teaching Satanism to these prisoners, people who are already lost, some of which have very sick minds, some of which are demonically possessed. Instead of getting them into scripture, they're going to be getting them into Satanism. It says inmates in state prisons have a new choice to practice their religious convictions, such as Satanism, paganism, and whatever Wiccans want to teach themselves, or whatever their religion is supposedly supposed to be. But it all ties into Satanism and the occult. It says the Appalachian Pagan Ministry, a small volunteer group based in Huntington, West Virginia, has held services at 2 Ohio prisons and plans to expand.
Did you hear what he said? They have a choice, which means that they have the ability to choose. They could read the Bible if they wanted to. They don't want to. Get over it.
To 3 others. Reverend Donna Donovan, ordered as a Druid priestess and an interfaith minister through Universal Life Church, is the leader of the group working with inmates she described as pan-pagan, referring to religions that are non-Abrahamic.
Look at this stupid image. I mean, this guy's an idiot. Where does he come up with this crap?
Satanism, Wicca, heathenism, and a few others. The only way to eradicate hate and intolerance is through education, says Donovan. I don't personally care what your higher power is, as long as you believe there's a higher power than yourself. Donovan's group is visiting prisons in Ohio. She has been in Southern Ohio Correctional Facility near Lucasville and the Allen Oakwood Correctional Institution in Lima. Her group will soon begin visiting prisons in Lebanon. Inmates must request visits by outside religious organizations rather than groups deciding to visit and hold services on their own. A spokeswoman for the Ohio Department of Rehab and Correction has approved a list of 50 religious groups that have permission to visit prisons, including a wide variety of Christian, Jewish, and Muslim groups, plus Buddhists and Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons, as well as Wiccans now and Satanists. The organization must submit applications, pass background checks, and undergo training about prison procedures before visiting inmates. So they could
get this. They just stated that Christians will be there preaching. So it's not like Christians are being told they can't. And didn't this little moron complain about how Satanists, atheists, and them were getting more rights? This guy is a liar.
pass background checks, but they're not going to check into what the religions actually teach. And as I say over and over, the satanic religion, that whatever they want to call it, where they worship the Baphomet, their logo is a pentagram, upside down pentagram, excuse me. All this stuff, it's right in our face. People still buy into them believing and being atheists and intellectual people who want to teach science and this stuff. What they're doing is they're recruiting. So now that they're, expanding by going into these after-school Satan programs and going around the globe, going around the United States, going everywhere, getting more and more rights because they're using religion and state, the separation, and religious freedom. If Christians can be there, we can be there. They're trying to attack anywhere that Christianity can be preached, anywhere a Bible is allowed to be placed, that they can show up, such as
it's called equal like rights, you moron.
There probably already is. And what they're doing is they're recruiting. So these people who are lost and in prison, who need to find God, who need to find salvation.
Now, according to you, now, that's it. You want to talk about brainwashing, you idiot? What about the Christians going over there trying to convince these people that they need to find God? That's indoctrination. That is brainwashing, you piece of shit.
Now they have new recruits to join the satanic covens and the satanic circles. People who are probably willing to do a lot of dirty work for them. And I'm not saying that based on the fact that they're criminals, but Well, if you have a criminal record, you spend a lot of time in jail or any time in jail for a significant period of time, you probably have, maybe you lean towards doing things and breaking rules, right? And breaking the law and being, desperate. And that's what we have now. We have these Satanists going to prisons in Ohio to recruit these people and to hand out their satanic garbage, their satanic doctrine. And it's just starting in Ohio, but just like the after-school Satan program, it's spreading every week. It's not just in Washington.
It's spreading every week. After school Satan projects? Well, let's see, you little moron. I have read several articles where the Bible is allowed in school. In states, they are going to allow the Bible to be taught in science. Okay, because evolution is forbidden, you son of a bitch.
Washington. It's not just in Oregon. It's not just in Utah. Florida, it's spreading around because they're going, look, nothing bad's happening. No one's seeing what's coming of it. They're just telling you that it's fine and it's good. When they're targeting 5 to 10-year-olds in school.
Christians do that all the time.
They're using the Disney movies and the board games and stuff like that, which is all a beginning indoctrination for children to get into witchcraft, the Harry Potter, all the nonsense we see. We hear magic. Almost every TV show talks about magic. Oh,
another
magic
part
this,
of the
this,
drinking game
magic,
with this little
magic.
idiot. Every time he
Magic,
talks
course,
about drinking, about
is what
magic,
they're all
we
about.
should
Black
take a drink
magic and
too.
witchcraft. These people are Satanists. So soon, once they get this, pushed through Ohio, it'll be other states. They already are meeting with 30 to 40 inmates at each Ohio prison. That's 30 to 40 people at each prison that they go to in Ohio. And of course, she says she funds the ministry out of her own pocket and through public donations. In other words,
80%
because
of the prison populations are Abrahamic. That would be roughly 60% would be Christian.
That's how it works. They don't have to work a real job or do anything in the real world. They're funded, and I'm sure it's government funding under some secret account name.
Yeah, right. Prove that.
People. And now they're recruiting inmates, people who really need to be rehabilitated and find God. It says these inmates, male and female alike, know the mistakes they have made in their lives.
And I bet you some serious money that these people, when they went into jail, were Christians going in. So Christianity did not prevent them from breaking the law.
To ensure they do not make the same mistakes again. So we're going to see this continue to spread. And it's not just going to be after-school programs. There's literally going to be more than that. There's going to be, in public schools, I'm sure there'll be classes and programs during the school day at some point.
You mean like the Catholic Church has, where they force the indoctrination of the Bible upon those kids?
Into the worship of Satan, the acceptance of the Antichrist, the accepting of the mark of the beast, and all the things that are to come.
Prove those things first, you little moron.
They can go out there and then go to a prison and say, listen, we're going to teach them Satanism. They go, all right, let's do a background check on you. Okay, this is where you're at, right? Okay. All right, you look clean. Go through the teachings that they study. You want to teach inmates about blood rituals, human sacrifice,
blood rituals. You know, I am sick and tired of this little twat saying how I demand blood rituals. If you were to read the Old Testament, it says it plain and simple that to be forgiven for sins, to be forgiven by the little God boy, you had to have a blood sacrifice. You had to put an animal on the tabernacle and have its neck slit open. It is God, the supposed creator of the world, that demanded the blood sacrifice. You go read the Bible, you little twit, and you will see nothing about where I'm demanding a blood sacrifice. I'm a nice guy. I accept people for who they are. I do not demand people to do as I wish for me to like them. I take them for face value. You ought to try it for once.
Pedophilia rape, dismemberment, cannibalism? Is this stuff we need to be teaching inmates? People who need God?
Cannibalism, such as the Donner Party. This was a group of Christians going across the old U.S., got stuck in a snowstorm, and started to eat each other. Christians do cannibalism.
God, need to find God? There's a reason that they're going there. And like I said, any place that allows a Bible or Christianity to have even a breath of air, they will be there recruiting, because that's what they're using now to get away with this. Well, if they have after school Christian programs, we can have after school Satan programs. And then they go, well, we don't know if we, the school says we don't know if we should allow it. And they go, well, that's not fair. We'll sue you because you have Christianity in there. And they go, oh, okay, well, what are you going to teach? Well, we're going to teach atheism. We don't really believe in Satan. Oh, right.
Atheists do not believe in Satan. Atheist means without God belief. So, a Satanist is not an atheist. Take another drink.
But you say Hail Satan after all your invocations. You give invocations. You dress in druid cloaks. Your logo's the Baphomet and the pentagram, all things that represent black magic and human.
Druid cloaks are green. And Druidism is a form of paganism. It is not a form of Satanism. So for this moron to say that they're interchangeable just shows how uneducated he is. Take another drink.
And sacrifice. Oh, right, but you're not. You're not. Giving people the benefit of the doubt. That's what they do. That's what the masses do. Oh, okay, well, they say this because we have a spineless society. And I'm doing everything I can to make sure Christians who listen to this channel, I understand that I'm confrontational. I understand that I put myself out there. I'm not afraid to get in someone's face. I'm not afraid to yell. I'm not afraid to do this stuff. And I know people go, it's not Christian-like, because they want to believe in this lukewarm, watered-down version of Christianity. As if
You don't know what Christianity is.
John the Baptist was here today, he wouldn't raise his voice. He wouldn't yell. Look at the world now compared to when they were here, and how disgusting and disgraceful it is, as in the days of Noah.
Okay, I got to bring this up. He is saying that the modern world is worse than the ancient world at the time of the supposed Jesus. He can't prove that. See, back in the day, there was rampant slavery. Back in the day, there was a great deal of pestilence. People were dying at 40 years old. So if you lived to be 45, you were considered an old person. What he knows of the old world, the old ways, is absolutely minuscule. This guy is a joke.
Christians need to have a backbone. You need to stand up for God. You need to stand up against Satanism, because they are our enemy. Does it mean we don't pray for them? No, of course we still pray for our enemies. We follow the scriptures, but it doesn't mean we get pushed into a corner and trampled on by these people. We have to have backbone. I hear people always say, and I don't know who pushes it, Alex Jones might, they say, we're the resistance. Well, Christians need to be the backbone. And we need to stand up against this stuff, because this is just more and more of them getting away with indoctrinating and recruiting people. They're going after kids. Now they're going after,
just like
inmates,
the Christians do every day.
And once
Reports
they start reading
in
the
Boulder,
actual
Colorado
teachings that they teach,
of
once they build them up with this
Baptists
self-empowerment
having
crap, which is what the
a
Satanists
van
do,
outside
they build them up
schools
with this,
and
you
willing
can do,
to baptize kids
encouragement.
as they
Then
walk
get
out
more
of
into the
schools.
teachings of witchcraft and black magic and pedophilia and blood sacrifice.
There he goes
They don't
again,
do it
blood
right off the bat,
sacrifice,
but they
black
get them there.
magic. Yeah, what a
These
fucking
people are being
moron.
targeted and recruited by these Satanists, and we have to get the word out to stop this nonsense, because people need to realize that this front they're putting on, calling themselves atheists, is a complete front and a fraud, and it's a joke. And there's people who are part of these satanic temples and churches that
Again,
are so
Satanists
stupid.
say,
They
take
don't
another
even know
drink.
what they're involved in. I get messages all the time. You don't know what we're really about. I'm a part of the satanic temple. Why? Because they sent you a little paper, certificate in the mail and a button with the Baphomet on it. You think you know what's going on because you had no friends. You want to join some.
So what makes you a Christian? Do they send you a little button with a cross on it and a certificate saying that you are a full-fledged Christian? No, they don't. So you're just talking shit out of your ass.
Stupid group. Do you think it made you tough? Is that why? You're broken down, you join this bunch of losers who are worshiping Satan, and then you go, well, it's not really like that. But you target Christians, you target abortion clinics to protect the abortions. I mean, it's all ridiculous. It's all right in our face. So I'll leave the article linked up below. You can.
And Christians target the Satanic Temple in Florida. The Christians have targeted Muslim activities. Christians have targeted abortion clinics by bombing them, by committing murder, killing the abortion doctors. You want to insult people for their beliefs and their actions when I can do the same thing towards you.
See it for yourself. Absolutely ridiculous what's going on in the United States of America. Makes me sick. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.
Fuck you.